Good morning, everybody. Welcome back from Someone Scott Selections here for Tuesday, March 29th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We're having a loss in the NBA with the Celtics team total under 104.5 at minus 112 on FanDuel. Line closed at 100.5, so we beat a 4-point line move. And Boston ended up really struggling for the final three quarters offensively as it averaged just 22.6 points per quarter from the second through fourth quarter. And that was a pace for about 90 points. The issue with that was the fact that Boston, without Tatum, without Brown, without Williams, and without Horford, managed to score 38 points in the first quarter, and the Celtics finished regulation with 106. The game went to overtime, ended up flying over the team total, but when you put up 38 points while missing four starters against a pretty good defensive team, you can't really account for that. That's what happened to us, so we picked up a loss. But I'll look for a winner here on Tuesday. However, didn't really like anything on today's card. It's a pretty light card, and I don't think it's very good. But there is one game that I do like looking ahead to the weekend. It's going to be on a pretty important college basketball game in the Final Four between Kansas and Villanova, taking place at around Saturday at 6 o'clock, give or take. And for the actual matchup, we like a team total in this one. We like Villanova team total under 64.5 points at minus 108 on FanDuel. Time recording of 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the under in this spot. First of all, Villanova offensively, despite winning those last two games, they've really been awful offensively against Michigan and against Houston. Villanova is averaging just 56.5 points per game in his last two outings. So Villanova offensively has really been a mess, and I do expect that to continue because Kansas has been really good defensively all season long, and especially good defensively in the NCAA tournament. And going through the actual tournament numbers for Kansas, the Jayhawks have allowed less than 62 points in 3 of their first 4 NCAA tournament games. So it seems like Kansas' defense has somehow gotten even better over the course of the season. Kansas defensively does rank 17th in efficiency. So Kansas has been an elite defensive unit all season long, but it's been particularly good in the tournament. And I do expect it to have a pretty nice game plan in store for Villanova. And also, it will be a shorthanded Villanova team because the Wildcats will be without their second leading scorer. Justin Moore, of course, had that really brutal leg injury, which will cause him to miss the rest of the NCAA tournament. Suffered it against Houston in the Elite Eight, and Moore is averaging 14.8 points per game, second most on the team. So I do expect Villanova to look even worse offensively without one of their best shot creators. Plus, Villanova stylistically definitely should try to slow the pace down to a crawl. Villanova ranks 345th in offensive tempo. We know Kansas likes to go up tempo. They end up ranking in the top 100 in pace. However, we know Villanova, if they want to win this game, they have to kind of slow this game to a crawl, play it in the half court, and limit the number of possessions available for both teams. And with that being the case, I do expect Villanova to do whatever it can to force this game into a very, very slow pace. I don't want to say as slow as the Houston game, maybe as slow as the Michigan game. But the point is that with a limited number of possessions, it should be even harder for Villanova to reach this number of 64.5. And plus, if you want to look at Villanova's offensive breakdown this season, they really rely on the three-point line. 38.6% of Villanova's points come from the three-point line, which ranks 25th in the country. The problem with that is the fact that Kansas ranks 17th in opponent three-point percentage. So Kansas has been an elite defensive team against the three-point line all season long. Villanova is pretty reliant on threes. And when they're not going down, this team's going to struggle. And I do expect Kansas to do a good job once again of really contesting shots on the perimeter and forcing Villanova into some tough shots from the outside. But looking at number 64.5, this number's too high at the end of the day. And the reason why I'm taking it now is because I do expect money to come in on the under for Villanova's team total before the game. I just find it hard to believe that a team that's averaging 56.5 points per game in its last two outings and is now missing its second leading scorer is suddenly going to wake up offensively against a top 20 defensive team in the country. I don't see that happening. You're looking at, of course, if you're doing the numbers in your head, they need about 32 points per half. Of course, you need one half with 33. I'm not sure Villanova is going to get there. And at the end of the day, I do think that Villanova should finish this game somewhere in the high 50s or the low 60s. Play that once again here for Tuesday, March 29th is going to be on Villanova team total under 64.5 at minus 108 on FanDuel. Bye, everyone.